Space Ground 2. Are you ready for the event?
We're ready for the event, Houston.
Liftoff of Space Shuttle Independance.
Go at throttle up.
Copy, go at throttle up.
Today is the big move. It's part of our Bring the Legacy Home project, where we're moving this huge 747 artifact in 6 pieces. You know, this is a rare occasion, I think, in anybody's lifetime, certainly mine. I've been at Space Center Houston for almost 20 years. This is the biggest thing we've done since opening in 1992. So it's fantastic. The most gratifying thing to me is the outpouring of support from the community. We've had NASA's involved, other government agencies, other local cities, the utility guys, our staff, the guys that are actually moving it. Everybody has just really reached out and helped to make it great.
You know, it's an amazing experience. It's very surreal to talk about it for months and months and months, and to come out and see a 1,000-foot-long convoy with over 800,000 pounds of aircraft parts. And the amount of logistics and planning that has gone into this has just been amazing. Today we're getting ready to bring the legacy home. The 747 you see behind me was used to carry the space shuttle from coast to coast. So if the shuttle had to go land in California to get it back to Kennedy, they would use the Shuttle Carrier Aircraft back here. And when we heard that this was available, we decided to go ahead and bring it out to Space Center Houston and create a world-class icon. The 747 by itself is an amazing aircraft, and it's very impressive up close. But what we intend to do is to take our shuttle mock-up Independence and place it on top. And this becomes a unique-in-the-world attraction where you can go inside the 747, you can go into the various levels of the shuttle itself, including the flight deck and the mid-deck, and even out into the cargo bay. You know, this allows us to tell the story of the shuttle program in a big way and highlight the community that made that vehicle fly. And it also allows us to put the spotlight on the impact the shuttle program is having on future missions, including those going back to an asteroid, the moon, and Mars. So we're really excited about this display, and it's a unique opportunity to bring something very special to our area.
We're so excited to work with Space Center Houston and have this unique display available for everybody to see. It helps tell the story of the whole shuttle program and, of course, the part that the Shuttle Carrier Aircraft played. And it will bring people all over the world to Space Center Houston.
Space Center Houston has an enormous impact. In fact, according to a recent study, it was $45 million to the greater Houston area that it generates. But if you look at the visitors that Space Center Houston is bringing, almost 1 million people come into the city every year that come in and spend dollars not only at Space Center Houston, but in our hotels, in our restaurants. They use our taxis. They go around and visit other locations around the area and throughout Houston. So it's a big deal for us to have Space Center here in Houston, and I think to have this special day and to have the 747 come is only going to make it a better attraction.
We've already seen our international tourism go through the roof, and that's just with the acquisition of the shuttle mock-up, the announcement of this project, and a few of the other amazing programs that we have going on at Space Center Houston. So we anticipate that the impact is going to be great, but what we're really excited about is how we're going to be able to inspire the next generation of explorers. Bringing kids out here to see this thing up close and in person, our core objective is to inspire them to look into careers in math, science, technology, and engineering, so STEM careers.
Well, STEM education is obviously very important to NASA, and we always think about it in whatever we do. And so we're so thrilled that Space Center Houston, that's really a big part of what they do. And they'll be able to use this exhibit in a way that really no other shuttle exhibit is going to be able to do in the country for education.
I love active museums. I always liked them when I was a kid. And so having part of the space shuttle era go down to Space Center Houston where people can actually crawl around it, I think it's real important. Rather than just put it in another museum where you just look at it. Here it's going to be interactive, and I think that's pretty neat. I'm a big fan of Space Center Houston. I go support it whenever I can because I really believe that you want to excite kids' minds when they're young and get them into, and science is fun. So that's how we stay ahead as a nation, is technology.
Well, the convoy itself is being managed by a company called Palletized, and Palletized really stepped up to bat for us. They are doing this at an extremely reduced cost. We're going to shut down the road all the way up to Space Center Houston and begin moving the aircraft. And it's not a simple move. The coordination of moving down the highway and taking intersections down and putting them back up is also a very tricky task. Once it gets to Space Center Houston, it's going to take about 44 days to put it all back together. Again, Boeing stepped up to donate their services, and once it's assembled, we then have the task of lifting and placing Independence on top, our shuttle mock-up. Once that's in place, we expect that'll happen before the end of the year. Then we begin outfitting the inside. And this is where we have a gap. We have an active capital campaign right now where we're trying to raise $2.7 million to create all the exhibitry that'll go inside. We expect hopefully to close that out early next year, and we expect it to open in 2015.
If there's one thing that international travelers connect with Houston, it's space. Because everyone knows that Houston is home to America's space program. And the only place where you can see it as a tourist is at Space Center Houston.